Hello, today I'll be reviewing the new album from Linkin Park, From Zero. This was an album that I was definitely looking forward to and especially really curious about, especially since this is, of course, their first album in 7 years and also their first album with the new vocalist, Emily Armstrong, and also the first album with new drummer, Colin. But yeah, definitely a big deal of an album, and it's cool to finally get to hear this album and talk about it. And I did also pre-order the album. I pre-ordered the CD zine thing from their online store. Definitely looking forward to getting that in the mail. Definitely important to support your artist. But yeah, Linkin Park, this was the band that really got me into the world of rock and metal. They were the first band that I ever got into. So whenever Linkin Park is coming out with a new album, I'm always going to be excited no matter what. But let's go ahead and dive into this new album here, starting off with the intro that leads into the Emptiness Machine, which was, of course, the first single, and I did review the Emptiness Machine on the channel. And when the song first dropped, I thought the song was just all right, not great or amazing, just all right. But I think time has done the song well, at least for me personally, because the song has really grown to me over time. And the song reminds me most of Minutes to Midnight and The Hunting Party, pretty much a mix of those two albums. And I think the song also shows that Mike and Emily have pretty solid chemistry, such as towards the end of the song during that final chorus. But all around, pretty solid track, I'd say. And honestly, as of now, maybe one of my favorites on here. But now I'll be moving to the next song on the album, Cut the Bridge, which I'll be honest, I'm kind of torn on this one. This is probably one of my least favorites on the album, but I wouldn't say that it's bad though. I meat maybe as I give the song more listens, it'll grow on me, but again, as of now, I'm kind of torn on it. At least to me, it kind of sounds like a more modernized version of Bleed It Out. I don't know, especially with the overall drum beats, drum patterns, it definitely really reminds me of Bleed It Out. Again, more modernized. And I do like the vocal performances from Mike and Emily in this song, but as of now, overall, as a whole, I think the song is all right. But again, I'm kind of torn on it. So it's a song that I'll definitely have to give more listens to just to see if it'll grow on me or anything like that. But the next song on the album is Heavy as the Crown, which was the second single. And out of all the songs on here, this is the one that definitely sounds the closest to their classic two albums, of course, Hybrid Theory and Meteora. And this is easily one of my favorites on the album. Of course, you have that pretty impressive scream from Emily later in the song. And I think it also has one of the best choruses on the album. This song, to me, definitely reminds me most of, honestly, Meteora. I've seen the faint comparisons, and I can definitely hear it. I can definitely notice it, and yeah, I'm still personally really digging this song. I'm still continuing to go back to it a lot, and yeah, definitely another highlight on the album for me personally. And yeah, I do dig his Mike's rapping in the verses, and Emily delivers a strong hook in the chorus. But the next song on the album is the third single, Over Each Other, which I didn't review on the channel. And yeah, this is one of the more melodic songs on the album. And this time, Emily takes the spotlight in terms of vocals. And her vocal performance in this song really, to me, is the biggest highlight of the song. I think her vocal performance in the song, maybe one of the best vocal performances on the album, I'd say, from her. But yeah, overall, another solid song on the album. Is it one of my favorites on here? That I'm not quite sure about, but still, either way, another fairly solid track. And another song that I'd say is getting better with each listen. The next we're moving to track number 6, Casualty, which is probably one of the heaviest songs on here. And the song also kind of has a punk rock feel to it, which I kind of like. Now with the verses, you have Mike delivering the lyrics in the verses, and his vocal delivery kind of sounds a bit more harsh, and his attempt at going more harsher kind of reminds me of Page Hamilton from Helmet a little bit. I'm not sure if I'm the only one that hears it, but he kind of sounds like Page a little bit in the verses, I'd say. But I think he still sounds solid though. And then you also have Emily doing her screams in the song too, and then you get to around the 1 minute and 30 seconds mark, or a minute and a half mark, where you get some pretty cool scratch work from Mr. Han, and that was really cool to hear again, because of course that's something that was kind of lacking on the past few albums or so. And of course, new metal was not as big in the 2010s, obviously, but we are starting to notice a bit of a resurgence with new metal, of course, with certain bands like Tala and some other bands. But again, definitely really cool to hear some DJ work from Johan and Casualty. And also around that 1 minute and 30 seconds mark, you have Emily delivering the line, "It's only a matter of time." And the way she delivers this line kind of reminds me of Jonathan Davis a little bit, which, hey, I have no problem with that. Jonathan Davis, probably one of my favorite vocalists, and Korn, also one of my favorite bands. But yeah, Casualty, fairly short song, but personally I really dig it. Maybe another one of my favorites on here. Now we move to the next song, Overflow, which this is definitely going to be one of the more divisive songs on the album. And it's a song I can't really compare to really any other song that the band has really done. I mean, if I were to describe it, it's kind of electronic pop. You can maybe say a mix of those two things. If I were to compare it to, if I were to say what era this sounds the closest to, I'd maybe say 1,000 Suns / Living Things, but that's a big maybe though. I mean, again, I can't really compare this song to really any of their other songs, but at the same time, with all that said, I actually kind of like it. I mean, especially the vocal performances from both Mike and Emily, but especially Emily, such as in the chorus of the song. But now when the song first, during my first listen, when the song first started, I was a little bit concerned, but at the same time I was still curious too. And as I've been giving the song more listens, it's been kind of growing on me a little bit. And yeah, with how different it is, I think it's actually not bad. Again, it's going to be it's most likely probably going to be one of the more divisive songs on the album. But Overflow, decent track, not bad. But the next song on the album is Two-Faced, and this song kind of sounds like a mix between Meteora and their more recent stuff. And personally, I really dig it. This is probably another one of my favorites on the album. And this song to me also has probably one of the strongest choruses on the album. You get some nice hookiness in this song, I'd say. I do like Mike's rapping in the verses, and then I think Emily delivers some strong vocals in the chorus. But around the 2 minutes and 10 seconds mark, you get the line, "Stop yelling at me," and she repeats this line multiple times later in the song. And this part of the song I can see definitely getting a reaction out of fans when they perform this song live, if they do. But Two-Faced, again, probably one of my favorites on here, and I can see this song also being maybe one of the fan favorites on the album, but that's just a guess though. But overall, pretty good song. Now we move to the next song, Stained, and this song to me reminds me most of the album Living Things, especially the verses. But then you have the chorus, which definitely doesn't remind me of Living Things. It sounds a bit more poppy, like more modern pop, and especially with Emily's vocal delivery in the chorus. But I don't know if it's one of my favorites. Honestly, it might be one of my least favorites, but at the same time, I do think it's a decent track though. This is another song on the album that I'm definitely going to be curious of what other fans say about it. But Stained, for me, maybe not one of the best songs on the album for me personally, but still another solid track, I'd say. Then we move to track 10, IGYEIH, I Gave You Everything I Had. And this is another song on the album that definitely sounds like it's going more closer to the older sound of Hybrid Theory and Meteora, especially the chorus. And yeah, this is another song on the album that I can see maybe being another fan favorite off the album. I mean, definitely one of the more heavier, one of the more energetic songs on the album, and all around, I dig it. But then we move to the final song on the album, Good Things Go, and this is one of the more melodic tracks on the album. And I'll be honest, when it comes to Linkin Park album closers, this is probably not going to rank as one of my favorites from them, but still not bad though. Kind of like with Cut the Bridge, this is another song on the album that I might have to give more listens to just to see if it grows on me. But as of now, it has some good melody to it. Mike and Emily do have some solid chemistry in this song too, with their vocal performances in the song, but a song that didn't really stand out to me as much as some of the other songs on the album, like Casualty or Two-Face and Heavy is the Crown, and of course some others. But Good Things Go, a decent way to close off the album. But overall, this album, I'd say is good, pretty good. If I were to give this a score, I'm currently somewhere between 7.5 and an 8 out of 10. That's kind of in the range that I'm at right now. But if I were to compare this album to some of their other albums in their discography, well, obviously I do think it's better than One More Light, but that's not too hard to do. And the interesting thing is, I've seen some people really grow to be more positive towards that album. Not everybody, but I've seen some people be more positive towards One More Light online, especially more recently. But One More Light for me, I think is still their worst album. It has 2 or 3 decent tracks on it for me, but that's about it though. For me, I still can't get into that album, but at least it has a couple songs I like. But yeah, I do think it's better than One More Light. And honestly, when it comes to a front-to-back album listening experience, I think I might like this album maybe a little bit more than Living Things. I'm still thinking about that, but again, that's a big maybe though. But yeah, I mean, I personally wouldn't put it up there with, of course, albums like Hybrid Theory or Meteora or even Minutes to Midnight, but I still think, at the end of the day, a solid addition to the Linkin Park discography, and overall, I am impressed with Emily Armstrong's vocal performance on this album. Of course, I'm definitely going to be curious of what other people think about her performance on this album. I mean, of course, I'm still seeing fairly mixed responses when it comes to her addition to the band, but personally, I'm open to this new chapter of Linkin Park, and hopefully I get a chance to see these guys live someday, because again, Linkin Park, a band that I'll always have a soft spot for. So again, it's definitely really cool to finally get some new music from these guys all these years later. And again, if I were to give this a rating, I'm probably going to go with I'm somewhere between 7.5 and an 8 out of 10. If I were to name some of my favorites on here, probably The Emptiness Machine, Heavy is the Crown, Casualty, and Two-Face. Those are some of my favorites as of now. But anyways, let me know your thoughts on this album. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Are you more towards the middle? Let me know some of your favorite or least favorite songs on here. Have you pre-ordered the album? If so, did you get the vinyl, CD, box set, or anything like that? And all that good stuff. But anyways, thanks for watching. Please leave a comment and a like. Subscribe. Have a nice day and take care.